You don't have anything else open.
We're at the desktop.
All right. Good morning or good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everybody out there. Paul Chaney here. Hey, special guest, Aly Weir. Yay. Super fun to have you, our first guest for this stream that we're going to have over the course of the next 3 days. This is really
excited
cool.
to be here.
Yeah, your very first time.
Woo, gonna be fun.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. So people are already joining us in chat. Good to see you, Matthias and Jay and Miriam and Patricia. Just let us know where you're from, especially if you're new here. Love to hear from you. So just like Aly, Aly's new. We also have some other cool guests. So we have Jackie Ho coming in at 11. This is all Pacific time, by the way. Natalie Liu is a creative resident at Adobe and also an interaction designer, as well as Michael Crabtree this afternoon, 3 to 5 p.m. PST. So just hang out with us all day. It'd be super fun to have you here. Brazil's in the house. Romania.
Ooh, Seattle. I'm from Seattle.
What?
Go Dogs.
Seattle, huh? Yeah, this is good. As far as Cape Town, Kelsey's from Cape Town, all Montreal. Over. And so you're from Seattle, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your and where do you live now?
Redwood City.
Okay.
South Bay.
Not far away. What is your trajectory? Did you have you lived anywhere else, or is it just like
Nope,
Seattle,
just Seattle straight to California. It was a dream of mine.
So this week also on Adobe Live, just to remind everyone, we have some fantastic guests. Aly's going to hang out with us. We already have a cool plan today. Jackie Ho will be up next, hosted by Michael, which will be cool. Natalie Liu will be joining us. She has a special project to share. Oh, from Seattle as well. Oh, yeah, that is cool. And Michael Crabtree with Michael Shays. So 2 Michaels. At the end of the day, I think they need nicknames at that point, just to separate the two, which will be really fun. So, Aly, I'm happy to have you here.
Excited.
Yeah. That's just, you're saying that just because I brought you coffee, and we've already downed our coffees. So, we'll be here for 2 hours, probably done about 45 minutes after having all this coffee. Plus, we're just excited, right? So we have these 2 hours to spend with you, everyone. Madhu, good to have you here from New York City. That's cool. Oh, Pretoria, South Africa. Oh, I haven't seen anybody from Pretoria, so this is good. I'm probably not even saying it right, but that happens.
Sounds like a good
And just so you know, just a quick little info tab, by the way. So you're obviously using chat. We encourage everybody to use chat. This is a conversation we're having with you. This is going to be recorded for later, but this is our chance to talk to you and answer your questions and just watch designs develop. Not only yours, which we'll get into in a second. There's an info tab. You can read all about Aly and her experience and all that fun stuff. So where are you working now?
Right now I'm working at Wealthfront. It's an online financial advisor, and we do automatic managing of your investments. It doesn't sound fun, but we're trying to make it more fun. So that's the design challenge.
Well, it seems like you're like fun to work with, you know, and it doesn't matter where you work. If you work with like fun people, like it could be the most boring, I don't care, but it's like if you have fun people around you, it just like makes all the difference.
Well, it's definitely like an inspiring mission and design challenge because we think everybody deserves sophisticated financial advice. And so you take all of this like really complicated stuff and make it fun to play with using visual design, interaction design, and you're like compelling product.
And that's so, and those industries like really need
big time.
Some big time UX. Just like make it simple and like just like dumb it down for me.
Oh,
you know, make the Mint, like I use Mint and I have Truebill, but like simplify it and say, hey, you know what, give me an account, like help me manage my finances. And is it along those?
Oh, totally. So we like recently just did a rebrand this year, and I think my favorite like quote from users afterwards is, I think it makes me feel like finance doesn't have to be that hard. And I think that's what I'm always striving for when we're designing there, is simplifying, articulating, and giving you steps to a clear path forward so you can feel like you're making good financial decisions and feel confident about it.
That is cool. Yeah. I mean, does that stuff, is that easy for you as a designer, like dealing with accounts and like are you like a numbers girl? Sometimes we will have. Yeah, okay, good. So you're probably like, hey, if I can understand this, I can like make this easy for people.
Well, I work with a lot of these PhDs who just know so much stuff, and I know way more about investing than I ever thought I ever would, which is like kind of fun because you educate yourself, but then it's a nice kind of in between. So you learn from the smart people, translate it for people like myself. Oh, man. If I can understand it, then anybody can.
I love it. Yeah. Seriously, I love that. I mean, that's what I say all the time. Because when I would train, I'd be like, if I could understand this, like I can easily explain you. I'm not gonna impress you with big words. You know what I'm saying? Like some people are so smart. You're like, you're not helping me anymore. We're gonna keep it simple for everybody, right? Yep. This is gonna be really good. And that's what I like about XD as we dive into that today. But it's cool we have like lots of familiar faces on the stream too. Laura, Tim is a good friend of ours. William Workman, what's up? Yes, so that's the whole thing. Dumb it down, like simplify it. I say dumb it down, but make it simple.
Simplify, articulate.
What is that?
Always explaining why. I think that's one thing that we've been learning a lot through designing this app is a lot of the people we're designing for actually are like really smart people. So you simplify, but also explain kind of how you got there so they can feel like they're kind of involved in the process. It's kind of like empowering the user a little bit. So it's not like we just hand you an answer. It's like, here it is. And if you want to know more, or if you want to be able to explain kind of why you're doing it, can kind of build a little more confidence and trust. So
yeah,
simplify and articulate.
Simplify and articulate. Make that a mental note, or actually make it an actual note and write it down, because these are good. I'm glad you're helping us. Thank you.
The purpose of UX, ask why. Love that.
So we also want to give you a design challenge as well, so we can take some of this knowledge and like roll it into a project. Because if you notice, there's the fancy little tab right over there. You can either use my screen or not, but essentially, you have this challenge tab. Scroll down. Sure enough, we have a daily challenge. Over the next 3 days, different challenge each day. I really like this one, though. Because this is,
Yes, I love it.
So the challenge is to create a health mobile app. Just use Adobe XD. 3 screens, like link them together. Could be anything related to health. And I would even like to say, like, you can even think outside of the box. So it could deal with, maybe the technology is not there. Maybe it's not just getting your heart rate, but what other things can you do? We might have a guy that we're working on getting this guy in that he developed through L'Oreal. It's like a little, it was at CES, but basically it's a little dot that you put on your fingernail.
I saw that. And it tells you about the UV rays that you're getting, right? So
all the UV rays you're getting.
Well, health is so cool because there's so many different like angles I feel like you can take on it, right? There's like mental health, there's like my physical health, I'm dealing with a sickness or I'm just trying to better myself. Like there's so many different types of angles you can take. What I think is particularly cool lately, or I've been seeing a lot, is how technology has been like empowering people who have been living with like diseases their entire life. So it's really cool to see how you can use design to even improve somebody's quality of life, which is just, I think, really cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And if you think about it, like the app of the year, Apple's app of the year was Calm, which is all about like meditation and everything. So we need that. We did that. We actually started out with, we did like our deep breaths before.
You're grounded.
You guys feel it? Do you feel it, William? Do you feel it, Laura? Cody, you guys excited? Let's do this. So that's your challenge. Essentially download XD, 3 screens, design something beautiful, and you could just use stock watermark images and then just submit through this form, and we'll review those in about an hour and a half. And then what? If you go full screen, we also got some fancy giveaways too. Yes.
Wow.
Socks, only slightly worn by Aly.
So comfy.
Yeah. So we have the host wear these for like a day before, and it's like really makes it a collector's item.
Well, you just want to make sure you can really speak to the comfort level of the
socks.
So
exactly.
We authentically...
Yeah, we already like user tested these, and they're good. And not only that, but a fancy notebook as well. So we'll give these away in about 45 minutes. Oh, we've already given away socks. Matthias is like, yeah, I got my socks on.
Laura has them.
Laura has some socks.
Twinning with the socks.
That's cool, Kelsey. So yeah, let's take a look at your screen now. Enough gabbing. It's like, let's talk about stuff. Ooh, what do we have? A slide here.
Yeah. A
Hey,
bit about
she came
me.
prepared. Do you like that, Carol? So feel free to ask away. Hopefully you guys win some socks and books and even Creative Cloud by entering the contest. So that's the big prize there. Illustrator. By the way, we do have like Adobe branded socks that has like all the icons on it. So
Oh,
we'll have to
fun.
give that away
Love
sometime.
that.
So, socks and notebooks, as noted there. So let's do this.
Very excited about the notebooks.
Oh, maybe the notebooks is the new thing. By the way, there's nothing in this. You got to do all the work. There's like nothing in here. You gotta use the pencil and make things happen. So yeah.
Cool. I guess a little bit about myself before I get jumping in. My love of design started from a place of fine art, so I've always kind of been a little bit more on the visual side of things. But as I got older, I realized there was a huge challenge to solve in terms of product design and interaction and user flow. And so one of my like kind of special passion areas is trying to use visual design to enhance understanding throughout a user experience, because I think colors and brand and messaging and graphics, whereas they can always look pretty, I think it's even better when they can look pretty for a purpose and kind of move a user forward and reinforcing the values that we're trying to instill in an app.
Yeah.
So, on top of that, love nature. So we'll talk a little bit more about nature today.
I love it, and I like talking to designers because you make decisions and you're doing it kind of unconsciously. But if you think more about it, you did it for a reason.
Oh, totally.
Even if you take this slide, like you used blue. Like, we can talk about, like, why did you use blue? Like, you could talk about all these things, and chances are you'd be like, oh, I just picked a color. Well, you happen to pick the...
No, I did not just pick a color.
Oh, she did
I
not.
had, like,
just
3
pick
or
a
4
color.
different colors that I was thinking of for this.
Oh,
it's like, how do you pick one color to introduce yourself? It's kind of a lot of pressure on one color.
That works even within the context of this stream, because this matches the Behance interface. So hopefully everybody's watching behance.net/live. So it matches. Maybe a happy accident.
Yeah, I love that.
But either
Happy
way,
accident.
that's my favorite color.
It's most people's favorite color.
It is.
The best part about colors is you look at them and you're like, oh, it's just a color, but there's so much theory behind it. Love color theory, so
It is
we
fun.
always talk about that. And before we dive into, working through our problem today, I guess I'll give a quick little overview of kind of the general process when I look at solving a problem. Oh no, these are too dark. Let's bump that up. Can people see my triangles?
Yeah, I would give
There
it
we go.
more contrast
Let's bump it up.
because
Too dark.
it's
There we go, designing on the
going
fly.
through a video.
Cool. Well, so this is just kind of the standard converge and diverge and converge like design triangles. So starting with the problem that you want to solve, I think it's always important to make sure that you kind of outline yourself with the initial brief, where you have a couple different, like the who, the what, the why, and the how, and that kind of acts as your guiding principles with how you can measure success through the rest of the process. So before just jumping into pixels, I think it's important to stop and kind of understand what problem it is we're trying to solve, who we're trying to solve it for, how will their lives be improved because of it, because along the way, as you're iterating and exploring, you could be like, well, is this solving what I'm trying to or not? So once you've kind of made your initial outline, going wide and exploring lots of different solutions, I think this is a super important part of the design process. To your first idea could be the one that works, but not always. So trying a bunch of different things and seeing what comes of it. And usually after you've explored a wide amount of things, you can test that with users or just kind of gut check yourself and give you a little bit of critique. Maybe that's sharing with your friend or getting reviews from somebody you're working with if you're like doing freelance. And you kind of see what ideas are working. It could be one idea that just from the beginning you're like, this is it. Or maybe you take a couple different pieces from a couple different explorations and kind of converge to like the kind of final direction where you might have a little bit of a gut check to say, okay, is this gut check, is this design aligning with kind of the initial brief that we outlined? Do we need to adjust some of our initial assumptions on what's actually valuable to people? And from there, you can do a final little bit of iteration based on anything that you've had to adjust and refine to the final solution. So that's a little bit how I usually work.
Yeah, and I like how you like visualized it here too, because you're like, I'm gonna try these different. I'm gonna try a teal. I'm gonna try a pink. I'm gonna try a blah. So that's you just kind of trying things. Something kind of emerges out of those tests, essentially. Kind of like, is that the converge part? Converges to a solution.
Yeah, which one here?
I was kind of talking about like this whole process.
Oh yeah, so like right at this point, once you kind of test, you'll be like, maybe the pink works really well because, you know, people really responded to it, or there was an aspect of the visual design you liked of the cyan that worked. And so I think you can take and pick different pieces where you might kind of, you see, you know, you kind of have less dots as you get closer to that final direction. So you're kind of like picking and choosing the elements that are working and moving it forward.
Okay, cool. Creative Geek's a great fan of XD now. Mwah, right here. Right here. Got me right here. That means a lot to me because I happen to work for Adobe. Imagine that. But not only that, we also have an update, by the way. I was just going to say.
Yeah.
So you're actually working in XD right now. There's actually additional features. If you have Creative Cloud running, just go ahead and if you could just kind of show my screen real fast, but just go ahead and go to your Creative Cloud desktop app. Boop. And then right down here, just hit update. And we'll kind of talk about those features that are available. Oh, look, nice look there, Paul. As we move forward, but there's an update to it since they said they liked it.
Well, cool. So I guess we'll get going and talk a little bit about the theme for what we'll be designing today. I'll walk you guys a little bit through some of my thought process of what I was thinking. So, opting outside. Ah, yay, nature.
You already have a hashtag. Hashtag
well,
opt outside.
It's not mine. It's REI's, but love REI.
Okay, shout out to REI.
But I just, when I was thinking about who kind of I was going to solve for and what kind of person this app might be created, I have a lot of friends, myself included, and I think generally people in the Bay, there's this kind of who I'm calling the trail maven, somebody who is ambitious, they're always striving to be their best selves, but that also means they might not have a lot of free time, or they're working their career, or they're following a passion, whatever it is. They're curious, so they're always ready to like tackle new challenges and learn new things. But they're mindful. They're always looking for ways to find their zen, their happy place, stay grounded. And for this particular persona, nature is their happy place. So this is the kind of person that I was thinking that I could solve for, and there's a variety of ways that I think we could tackle building something for this person. So I was like, are we going to work through something in nature, or maybe thinking about the ocean, hiking, travel? And I kind of had a little story from a hike that I went on last week where I had found this rock out in nature, and I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. I want to know more about it.
Yeah, you see that, everybody? Like, I want to see that like larger.
Wow, look at that. It's so
And again, it looks like a plant or something. Like it looks like it's squeezable. Like
There's
you just
actually
squished
plants in it. There was like plants kind of growing out of the rock.
This is crazy.
I know.
What is this, anybody? Robert?
What is this?
Marshall? Thomas? Help us. What is this thing? Did it just open up and try to eat your hand?
It was sparkling a little bit.
It was sparkling. When you held it, did you like get a vision of your future or something? I don't know. It just
started whispering
magical.
to me. It was
like
a little magical.
Rock, right? Because you were like, "What is this thing?" I have no idea. Did it taste?
A stack of abalone. Yeah, abalone.
Did
like
you
little
lick it?
Shells. No.
Lonnie wants to know if you licked it.
No, I did not lick it. A lettuce sandwich. It was a rock, I can say.
Yeah.
I know, it does look precious, right? That's what I wanted to know. I'm like, it was precious to me because I found it, but I want to know if it's actually kind of precious.
Yeah. We don't know. We left, for one, you left it in nature. Yeah.
I know I didn't leave it.
Okay. She left it in nature.
Yeah.
And but that's the idea. Like, so this is cool. So this is like so you identified your persona. Do you typically do that?
Yeah. Always start by figuring out who it is that you're building for. Because if you think about, oh, I want to build a nature app, there's like tons of different people who could use a nature app, and that could dramatically change the scope of how you're designing it. And it's good to always have the intention behind what you're building. Why are you building what you're building? What problem are you trying to solve? And that problem needs to be specific to a person, because a question that Trail Maven has is gonna be very different than a question than, let's say, like a rock expert has. They're gonna be looking for a totally different set of get value props from an app versus somebody who has a really busy schedule. It's important to think about how this app might fit in with the ecosystem of their life. So a lot of times when I'm like doing user testing or research, I actually like to ask people not just about a particular app that I'm doing. Like at Wealthfront, we'll ask about what are the other types of financial apps that you use. So understanding like what does your daily life look like and how might this fit into it can kind of change how we can make it as convenient as possible. Because I think you always want to make it the least path of resistance, the happy path to getting value out of whatever we're providing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, get to the value like ASAP. Maybe don't worry about having them like log in necessarily. Like let's get them hooked on the app first, and then when they need to save data or something, who knows? So
yeah.
All right, and luckily you fit this persona, which is nice, right?
Yeah, designing for myself a little.
Yeah,
there's other people who could use it too.
Fun day. I like it.
Love it. So what I was imagining that we could explore a little bit today is an app that helps people identify objects out in nature, so taking pictures of things in nature and post them to save them. We can collect them. We can ask experts about what they might be. We can share them with your friends. So you're out in nature, you go back into your work week and you kind of maybe have this like, ugh, I'm back in the office again. But can we kind of bring a little bit of nature in through your day-to-day life so that you can continue to feel inspired and remember your nice experiences that you had out in nature? So kind of bringing that back through the week. And then also, even as you're exploring out in nature, there's like this curiosity about what are all these wonderful things around me. So if you kind of have like your geologist in your pocket or your nature expert in your pocket where you can pull it up, take a picture, and let's see if we can identify what we're looking at so you can learn a little bit, feel like you're a little bit smarter. Maybe you can brag about your cool newt you found to your friends when you get home, that kind of stuff. So
is that a newt on the screen?
Yeah, let's look at, here's a couple pictures of some things.
So it's like exploring nature, and like you said, maybe you take a photo and it saves what you kind of captured in nature.
Yep.
But we're just exploring this because the goal is to get the person outside. Is that the goal?
Yeah, I think it's to encourage you to get outside, learn about what you're seeing, and then
because the learning alone is huge. Like if I know what something is, it's like if you go to an art gallery, it's one thing like looking. It's amazing looking at the wonderful pieces, but when you know what kind of the story behind it, it's just like makes it that much more interesting.
Yeah, which is interesting to even think about. I kind of had a rough outline of what are like the value props. So if we had a product tour for this, what would be the 3 things that you could say is why you would want to download this app? And one of them might even be to feel smarter.
Oh yeah, put that in there.
It's understanding.
I'd misspell smarter. Just kidding.
Feel more smart. I don't know.
Feel
is
more
smarter
smarter
even a
with
word?
the U.
Be smart.
Be smarter.
Feel empowered. Understand what you are seeing in nature.
Yes.
Love it.
And
some other things that you might be able to do is have like keep nature in your pocket.
Yeah.
Without having to take it away.
Yeah.
That's the thing is I always feel like you see something really cool and you want to take it with you, but you kind of feel bad because you want other people to enjoy it too. This way you can kind of keep a momentum of the things that you've seen and still preserve nature.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Like
preserve
that's
nature.
The thing.
Leave the rocks for other people to enjoy.
Yeah,
But remember what you found. Because memories. Oh no.
Feel smarter. That's actually, Miriam, that's a good point. Like there might be a difference between like be smart and feeling smart. I can make you feel smart even though you just asked the dumbest question. I could be like, "You're so smart. You know about
There's no
you
dumb
know
questions.
letters, come together to form words that come to form sentences.
Learn, preserve.
And that's good though. Like it's like don't be pretentious basically is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
with the data, like, hey, this is really cool. You found it. This is, encouraging along the way. So I like that.
Totally. I love
learn,
that.
preserve. Wow, this is, and then I'm thinking that value 3. What is it?
Anybody have any other? Yeah, take only pictures, leave only footprints. Oh, I love that.
William, you win best comment of the day so far.
Love that. That is great.
You
encourage. Oh, I think that's nice.
Encourage is a good
that's
word.
a great one. It's
that's good. Yeah, that is good.
It's like fostering a love of nature.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Thank you, Marshall. That's good stuff.
Appreciate. Oh, that's cute too. Oh, I love how we're going with like this one word kind of value prop.
Yeah.
It's nice and snappy.
And simple designers.
Ooh,
explore.
Be curious. Oh,
Be
that's
curious.
a good one.
These are like fun. I feel like I need to be writing these down too.
Be curious. That's fun. Growing the love of nature. Design is about teamwork. Yes, William. Thank you.
Because I think out of this, like right above that, we have app name too. So we're gonna like some of these words are good keywords that we're gonna keep in mind. It might not make this list, but it could show up in the app.
This one. Yeah, maybe I keep this one as learn, but let's keep a list of some of these other things because I think that's really
appreciate.
Important. Appreciate. I don't see why the challenge couldn't be around fitness. Fitness is a part of health, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Or the design challenge.
Oh, yeah. Like this goes along with the health theme.
Totally.
Like because you're encouraging people to get outside. That's health. Like you're getting them out of their chair.
Share. Oh, that's a kind of a fun one. I think that we might be able to do and share as a part of encourage because you could be sharing it with other friends, which kind of encourages them to get out in nature. So that's kind of fun. Oh, Jade, that's kind of fun. Thinking of names now. I liked Explore more. I think it's a nice the branding around this could be really fun.
Look at that's how you make friends at the office is you bring them coffee. I don't know how hot it is.
Engage. Oh, that's kind of fun. Engage is cool. I have this like nice I think one interesting like feature of this could be if you have like a giant the main user base being people who don't know much about nature. And so you're kind of collecting things, adding things. Maybe the app is telling you stuff. You could even have a different type of user that's like a professional geologist. Or like I recently Googled like there's like a mineral society of the Bay Area where they can come and like comment and be like, oh, this is really special what you found or verify a find. So it's
that would be really cool. Because like what if say even in the case of this picture, like what if this is something that hasn't even been seen before?
Oh, that's cool.
You know?
Discover.
Yeah, that whole thing. That's huge.
Oh, I like that. That's fun.
Because they have cases where like we thought this bird was extinct and now we just discovered it here in this area. Like the geotagging with that photo.
Merge with nature. Nature explore. I like the X there. Nice.
So yeah, you guys want to? Does everyone want to talk about Are we getting into the name of the app?
I think people are wanting to get into the name.
Okay,
I'm seeing a couple of them.
App names.
Let loose. No idea is bad idea. Brainstorming. Yes and.
I like it. Over 1K viewers, is that right?
Wowza. Yeah, brainstorm.
Yes. Sweet.
Wow.
So that's pretty good. All right, so yes, that's the whole idea. Let's think of a cool name, and I'll start writing some of these down. And I think we could always do a poll to see which one. Either you could pick; it's your app, but we can, if we, this whole curiosity.
Yeah, that's a great big theme. I like the curiosity, explore. I really like these kind of empowering action words. It makes me feel like I'm doing something, which is nice.
Yeah.
There's even this also kind of a fun, like tribe sort of sense where like you're like an outdoorsy person, and can we make you feel like you're more of an outdoorsy person by like surrounding you with a community of people who are also finding cool stuff like you.
Yeah.
There's definitely also something to be said for like using maps and geolocations of what you're finding. So places near you or hotspots to find cool rocks. Nurture nature. That's funny. Outer spaces.
Outer spaces. These are good.
Curiosity. Track your trek. Oh, that's nice. Nature's mark. Morning mist. Wow. Keep them coming.
I'm going to be like trying to keep up with chat by logging all these.
Nice.
I'm sure Adobe Live team might help me as well. if they could. If you find any good ones there, Adobe Live team. We have a team of about 20 people as part of Adobe Live team that is slaving away.
Outsider. Earthling. That's kind of fun.
Ooh, Earthling is kind of fun.
That's cute.
That is really interesting.
I think it gets to that kind of community aspect again. Like, you are part of this planet, and like, let's enjoy and understand it and take care of it. I think there's also a huge call of,
I love Earthling.
which is why I love the preserve value of this. Like, it's kind of saying like, we're caretakers here. Like, this is our home. That's really nice.
I like out, comma, side, or out, space, side.
Excavate.
Yeah, I like it. I like the whole thought of like Earthling. Like, you know, we're stewards of this planet. We're here to not make a mess, but like even kind of study things and kind of learn from them.
I love that.
Okay, Adobe Live is a big Earthling fan. I'm a fan of Earth too. You a fan of Earth?
I think so.
I'm a fan of
Safe
it.
to say.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, Hisham loves our channel. Thanks so much, man. Where are you from? Curious. Oh, he's talking about Simple Designers. I'm gonna pretend like
us.
Never mind. Rejected.
Earth Guard. We're protecting it. Nice. Well, maybe while we're thinking of some names, we can start doing some sketching.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Think? Earthling is light and cute. It is light and cute. I like that.
I like Earthling. Earthling so far is
definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think it's always important to start not in the pixels, because that'll allow us to think a little bit on a more high level. Lower fidelity means you can be a little more open with your ideas. So I think I'll just start by talking about some of there's a lot of things that I feel like this user could potentially do in this app. So maybe we might even list out a couple of them. Besides just the normal login screen, which is interesting. So we can always prompt our users to create an app, but I think this is one of those things where you want to be able to just get as quickly as possible to what it is that you're doing if you're out in nature, because you kind of have two different places that a user might be using this. Like, either you're outside or you're looking back through something again. So there'll always be the checkout as a guest option, and then there'll be like the sign in kind of biz logo.
And that's good. You're starting with, you know, maybe something that people are used to. I'm used to seeing those screens. Like, let me dive in or let me log in. Is that the idea?
Yep. So you have the log, sign in, guest.
Cool.
Boom. So let's see. When you get here, there's a couple things that you could do. You could be taking a picture or something. Little camera guy. Or maybe you have your feed of things, depending on if you've already logged in or not. So this is if you're logging in. Signing up would probably have
Nurture.
A little bit about you.
Oh, that's a... by the way, William Workman, that's a good idea. There's also some... So you're using Adobe Photoshop Sketch right now.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Loving it.
Lets you draw. But Adobe Comp's a good...
Yeah.
It's honestly an underrated mobile app, in my opinion. Because what it allows you to do is if you did a gesture of a box, it will turn that into a perfect rectangle.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's too exact, but because I really like the looseness of this.
I feel like also we're just going to kind of go all over the place here. I'm excited about this kind of map view. So I think there could be potential on your main view. You could have kind of like this feed of stuff that's being found, but you also could search by location, which I think could be kind of fun.
Geologize. Janet just made up a cool word.
Oh, that's fun.
So that's the map.
Go back to the list view. This also could be a fun way. I know I'm always looking for new hikes and stuff to do. So if you see like there's a place that's like particularly interesting with like a lot of cool stuff being found, could be tips on where to go find your next hike.
That's cool.
Okay, so we got the map
talking to you makes me want to get outside.
That's the goal.
Like, if we can take everything Aly's saying, like just like being next to you, and turn that into an app, like that motivation, like I'm there. Like, yeah. So
love it. So let's see. Okay, so I think we should walk through maybe one flow for, let's say, a new user. So we got a couple of different things going on here. We're gonna hide this, and we're gonna start with just the first time new user. So the person, let's do the guest scenario, because I'm out in nature and I just want to take a picture of this really cool mushroom that I found. Just call the app Aly Weir.
Aly Weir.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you're checking in as a guest. I almost wonder if it's not even called guest, if it's just called just take a picture, and that's the first thing. I think one of the things I love about Snapchat, for example, and the way that they encourage content curation, the first thing that when you open the app is that you take a picture. Like, because I feel like usually when you pull out your phone, it's for a reason. And if I'm out in nature and I'm wanting to get this thing, I downloaded this app and I'm just like, let me just take the picture of the thing that I'm looking at. So I feel like you could open it up even just with the camera view. So we have a little thing.
My menagerie.
It's a little mushroom that you found. And maybe there's like a sign in button too. But we just let you get right to what it is that you want to do.
Geofind.
This is a little mushroom. Sounding nice.
That's adorable. I love it.
So you take a picture of your first mushroom. Congratulations. Let's figure out what it is. You know, it'd be really cool is if there was technology. With Google search, I wonder if it could tell you what it is. It probably would only be able to tell you mushroom, not specifically what type of mushroom.
And we're still thinking, because again, Adobe's very much into sort of like AI and using this wealth of technology and being able to detect what an image is. So
you could even imagine
it might not be there today, but it could be like there tomorrow. And I like thinking about the thought of we can tell what type of mushroom this is, like whether it's edible or not, or who knows what.
So you kind of
in general, the answer is no. Just don't go out there looking for things to eat. I just don't think that's a good idea.
No.
So hey, Chevron Hicks is in the house. What's up, buddy? Just to kind of recap of what we're doing, we have fantastic Aly Weir here. We're basically creating a nature app, and the goal is to just get you out into nature to explore and be inspired, and also kind of track what you're doing as well. And also, Chevron, there is a challenge, as it's called. You can click on that challenge tab. As people are coming up with these other ideas that I'm seeing about like tracking things after like a natural event or something, like the goal today is to build a health app, and this falls in that category because you are getting outside, but the health is the goal for today if you're making something yourself.
Love that. So here we have a little, you bring out your phone, you're kind of scanning the image, and maybe you get some sort of feedback that it's like detecting. I think there's also an interesting challenge. If you're out in nature, you may not even have Wi-Fi, but we'll just pretend that our phone could potentially just look it up on its own.
That's cool.
So once it's successfully identified, you may have a nice little picture of what you just found. And I think there could be some cool little facts that we get about your mushroom. So you get some feedback of identified, the name of the mushroom.
So yeah, Anita, the health app can include diet. So it could include anything from like doing yoga to your diet to just tracking your steps. Could really be anything. The only requirements is that we need it to be 3 screens, and we'll review them in an hour. Sorry to interrupt.
Love that. No worries.
Ooh, naturism. That's kind of good.
That's cute. What are you sketching on? This is Adobe Sketch on the iPad with the handy dandy Apple Pen. So once you've taken a picture of your little guy, I feel like you could collect it. I like the idea that you kind of have like a backlog of all the things that you've found. So
I like that too.
Once you've collected it, maybe you have my collection. Wonder if we can come up with a cooler name for that. Curious if anybody has any thoughts.
My garden.
Like a Pokemon. Exactly like a Pokemon, but mushrooms. So now you have your little picture of your mushroom. And maybe there's a prompt to take another picture because we want you to keep adding things. And maybe there's also a prompt to share it. wonder when the right time to share it is. That's a question. You might share it from here.
Yeah.
If you wanted to share it with a friend, or maybe your collection is just automatically shared. I'm not sure if that's something that
No.
people,
I mean,
you
I
have
wouldn't...
to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So maybe we put that here.
Because what would initially happen is like maybe I didn't get a good photo of it, and then I'd want to, like the one that I like, if I really want to post it, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool.
Oh, I wonder if you could even take multiple photos of something. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
So you could like add another one.
My stash. My garden.
Aw, my garden. Little rock garden.
Yeah, I like my collection.
That's nice. I think that works.
Yeah, we always change.
Okay, so you've added something in. We've told you a little bit about what you found. We're gonna maybe prompt you to add a couple more pictures of it. Once you collect it, it gets added to your collection where you would have, maybe you've taken some other, well, this is the first time user, so they wouldn't have anything else. But if they would, they'd have a couple other things. We're encouraging them to take a photo, and I actually think that we should make that share pretty large CTA as well. So like we want people to be encouraging one another about what they're learning and sharing. So if we're going to have a social aspect to this, then I think that we should definitely make that. Collections is overused. Cool. So if I were to share this, I think it's interesting depending on what the user preference was for map or whatever. You could have the feed or the nature view come up first, but
And it looks like that's just you're just working on an iPad. I don't even know if it's iPad Pro. Yeah, iPad Pro.
Yeah, I think it has to be a Pro to use the Apple Pencil. So
it's the full size.
What would be fun is, you have the name of the mushroom, maybe you have the location of where you found it, and then a little bit about yourself. At this point, you would be, at this point you're a guest, so we need to figure out how we make sure that you actually save all this information. Yeah. So once you've added your collection, we need to get your user info somehow. So after you collect for a first-time user, we might need to get you to give us that name and email.
Mm-hmm.
That way your collection is saved. Otherwise it'll be sad and disappear.
I know, yeah. And it's good that you have that prompt at that time. So
yeah.
So yeah, Sketch, we're just kind of prototyping right now. We'll probably just like visually look at it. You can't necessarily transfer, say, from Photoshop Sketch to what you could do is you can actually send this as a graphic in your library and go that way. It might be a solution for you. But you might find an Adobe XD app out there, and that's actually for when you're prototyping, you can view on your phone, which is nice.
That.
Oh yeah, I know some people that just like, they always have it connected, and they just watch their phone update as they work in XD.
Oh yeah, love doing that.
That's pretty cool.
Cool. So, you could also view it in where you are, your little mushroom. I think what would be nice, so for the first-time user, so, we've kind of given you immediate value. You clicked on the app, you checked in as guest, we give you the value of what you want. If you took your picture when we told you a little bit about it, so you've learned, which is part of the value that we're providing. In that case, we're asking, then I think there's always a challenge with any app. When you're asking for an email, you're asking for some information. How do we give you some value before we ask you that? Because you kind of like, as a user, like, well, what am I gonna get from giving you this email? Like, I have to type it in, maybe I have to confirm it. I'm giving you my personal information, what are you gonna give to me?
Yeah.
So at this point, we've already kind of given the user some value. Even if they don't ever start a collection, they could use this potentially even just to be identifying things. And if that's just how they want to use it, that's fine. But we kind of can offer some additional value by saving these photos if you give us your email, which then would allow us to, continually engage them in various aspects. So you've added it to your collection. We've prompted you to share, which would lead you into like the social aspect of things, or to take another photo. So you've kind of already invested a little bit in the app at this point. And the more we can get you to kind of invest in this collection, the more tie and the more likely you are to come back to it. Because you have some maybe emotional attachment to whatever it is that you found. We've given you some value, so you want to keep coming back and trying for more. once we get you into the social aspect, we can start to surface some of the other interesting people around you. You can explore other places. So I think this might be a good enough place to where we can start actually designing some stuff.
Yeah, sounds great. Actually, somebody's wondering if somebody's ready for us to work in Adobe XD, it looks like. So we heard you. So we've done all of our storyboarding on basically this iPad Pro, Adobe Photoshop Sketch. You can use Adobe Comp if you want to. Big thing is like we've just made it easy to like, you just got your ideas down on paper, if you will. And
for answering Laura, I don't always sketch on the iPad. A lot of times I just have like a big stack of 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper in front of me, but it just kind of depends on.
Or maybe like a 6x6 notebook, like if you had one. Like, I don't know, that had, I don't know, maybe some like little, a grid system in it or something. I don't know, that maybe you could win also. That'd be pretty cool, because that's what's right here. In about 15 minutes, we'll give away not only this notebook, but some fancy socks that Aly delicately wore to make sure that they were
proof test the comfiness.
Yeah, exactly. So we're all about testing.
Another pro tip for doing sketches, especially in the early phase, is I oftentimes get Post-its that are like about the size of a mobile device. And so it's super easy. You don't even have to worry about drawing the rectangles. You can just stick it up and then you can move them around. So that's a really fun way to do some early brainstorming too. Yeah,
I know we also have Natalie Lou's work that way too. So we basically have a full day of people that, and it's interesting to hear how you work. And
love that.
So yeah.
Did we ever get any consensus on the app name?
Consensus on the app name, everyone. How are you doing?
Yeah, look at all of these.
I have been writing down all.
Maybe we should make a. I don't know. Earthling is still kind of my favorite so far.
Yeah, let's kind of get this a little bit smaller into view. So where is Earthling? Kind of is rising to the top. Again, our app
Earthling
is
for sure.
Hello, John. Good to have you here. William likes Earthling. So again, this is all about basically exploring outside. You could be capturing images of something unique, but the whole idea is to get you explore nature.
Get you explored.
Get you explored. Get you explored.
We'll turn you into a nature person.
We're gonna get you explored. I really like Earthling is pretty fun.
Yeah, I feel like that might
What's
be the
funny
one.
is that could easily like even sort of start to drive the, like you could easily fall into the whole space and alien type
identifying space rocks.
Well, yeah, but no, but like it's gonna. I like the idea of it assuming that you're an alien. So it's like all
you're
these
learning
alien
about
puns.
Earth. Yeah.
You're learning about Earth as a.
Oh,
but we can go with her. New tray is also nice. Okay, good to hear.
I vote for Earthling. To use mobile tablet templates for sketching. Sometimes I do. Not always.
I like Earthling.
I think we're gonna do Earthlings. Oh, greetings, Earthling. That's kind of cute.
Mitch.
Oh, that's
nailed it.
Fun.
He's good. He's good. Thank you, Mitch.
Cool. So let's start. Oh wow, look all my pictures I have over here. Cool.
Okay, so Mohammed, by the way, there is a contest going on. Just click on the challenge tab, and it's going to link you out to Adobe XD, where you can download Adobe XD. Your challenge today is to make a health app. So if you want to download Adobe XD, which just had a release today, you have a little project you can work on, and you can potentially win Creative Cloud. Not only Adobe XD, but everything, Photoshop, Illustrator, like everything. And you have about an hour to do that. So I encourage you to select that challenge tab.
Boom. Cool. So I feel like one of the things when I'm thinking about like the visual design of how we're going to go about this app,
that's cool.
I'm thinking that I think there'll be probably a photography focus because, you're taking pictures of this stuff. We want to reinforce the fact that photos will be a large part of this. So I can imagine on the splash screen, maybe you even have just like a rotating set of images that are kind of like scrolling through. So you're like, oh,
you know what nature. I really like about this is this even looks otherworldly.
Yeah, right?
Like, and I don't even know what it is. What is
it? It's bark from a tree.
It's bark from a
tree.
Is that cool? What bark looks like?
Sometimes.
I need to use your app and get out into nature.
Get out into nature.
Is that what nature looks like? Nature is fascinating.
I don't know what we want to do here, but I think we can have this just sit right up here. Need this to be a little bit darker.
Yeah, John. Adobe XD, technically it's like the fourth release since it hit 1.0. We're basically having releases every month for it. Oh, and I was showing you. this is kind of, while you're working on that, we could just switch to my screen because this is this is the latest release of Adobe XD, and this is a file somebody sent to me. But there's basically like 1,500 artboards here.
Wowza!
And look at, by the way, can we just talk about how fast I'm zooming? Have you ever opened up, I don't know, maybe 20, say, PSDs for or any other file type, and I'm just like zooming in and like, okay, I'm gonna check out this screen right here. And oh, by the way, let's click off to the side. Here are all my various artboards that I'm dealing with. But I love the performance, quite frankly, as I kind of dive into this. And there's radial gradients and some other things. So, ooh, I have something to show you too.
What? What is it?
My interest to you.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
What is it?
So, it's just about like the UI kits.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so can you go to your file menu? This is great for everyone, even if you're doing the challenge. UI kits, go down to, like, there's those Apple, Google, Microsoft. We'll go to wireframes. Just an FYI.
Ooh, look at that.
So that's what this wireframe looks like, in case you want to just grab some things from there.
Oh, that's super handy. I know. I want these.
You should totally download it, by the way, because
Yeah,
it might
let's
really
do it.
because it's gonna, like, if we need a map, we don't have to draw a map. We can
Yeah,
we
I
can do
don't
whatever
draw
we
a
want.
map. I want this.
People demand action. They're like, we want to see something fast.
Wires.
And let's also look through your downloads folder as you have it up on your screen. Just kidding. I'm just
I'm like, why? No.
I always get a little nervous. I'm never downloading anything like weird, but I'm
Yeah,
like,
I know, right?
I don't know what's in my
Don't
downloads
look at all
folder.
this
Like,
stuff.
what have I downloaded lately? And it's always a mess. I don't know what's in there.
Oh, this is great. This is so handy. We don't even have to do.
nice.
Oh, and they have the social icons. We're gonna save this one for later. Boom.
Can I blow your mind again?
I'm ready. I'm not stoked about how these buttons are looking, but we'll come back to them.
Yeah, there's probably a sign-in button that you can take. I should probably actually download it because I'm gonna want to show some things.
Okay, what else is gonna blow my mind?
Just if you went back to the wires, now go click on that little
This guy?
assets button, the lower left.
Ooh.
See that blue color? Like, change it. So right-click and select edit,
Boom.
and then you can change that to, like, so it changes it everywhere. So it's a global color.
That's handy.
Again, for the challenge, you could use wires, use it as a starting point to make those color changes,
That's
all that
nice.
good stuff.
I love that. I've been kind of digging this electric blue lately. It's kind of fun.
I'm into it.
Cool. So you can sign
George, you can't add GIFs to. You can, but it's not going to be animated. It's going to bring in the first frame.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want a border radius. Where do I grab that guy?
Dan, to answer your question, if you download Adobe XD, go to File, Get UI Kits, Wireframes.
Boom.
It's basically
Cool.
on. Since you're on Behance, in another tab on with in Behance, you could do a search for wires and Adobe XD, and it should come up.
I wonder what our call to action should be for that. Take a picture, collect something, learn about something. I feel like we need a catchy branded thing. Something where you
Hey,
just
Michael
ready to go.
Kobalinski, we could really use your feedback, by the way. If you're using Windows 10, we would love to get your feedback. If you ran into bugs, that'd be like huge. I mean, I'm not expecting you to do all our work for us, but if you stumbled upon some, we're actively working on Windows 10.
Let's see. Do we have a camera somewhere in here? Photos, money. Give me a photo icon.
Oh, let me see if there's some up.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, cool. See if you can find me a photo icon.
Okay, I'm on it.
We're a lot of things you can do here. Cool. Okay, so you got your splash screen. Love that.
Unearth is another suggestion. And Ying Chan to, if you have a vector line, to have a round cap. I know if you do have a, you could probably show that if you wanted that to be rounded.
Oh yeah, we have a rounded button right here.
Yeah. So it's just those little control points on the inside of those corners. Hopefully that's what you were asking.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's easy.
And if you want to get really exact,
yes,
select that, because I know you. I feel like you would. I feel like you would want to know. But
yes.
Like, right up there, click on the broken boop.
That one.
And then that will give you, if you wanted to make it different per corner, but you also know.
Which is sometimes nice if you're making like little illustrations. I do that a lot. You want different.
I used to think that was such a cool shape to have opposing corners sharp and the other opposing ones rounded.
Oh, that's nice.
That's also like a technique that was like 10 years old. I used to think it was pretty cool.
I remember seeing a bunch of
all my design techniques are from 10 years ago.
That's okay. They're coming back around, I feel like.
Thanks. I like having, you're so encouraging to have around.
Design is about encouraging each other.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Amin, just to recap, we are making an app that will allow you to explore nature and identify maybe things that you take a photo of in nature.
Okay, so we want our mushroom picture. I like this one because it has a pretty, let's go bring that over here. Nice little undersides there. This should be the full-blown thing.
Yes, Mitch, my age is showing on my head, as in gray hair. How about that? Anytime you're like, I remember when, it makes me feel old. That's a beautiful picture. I just love that.
Isn't that nice? So we gotta have something that kind of signifies that we're like capturing an image. So we'll do some little. Oh. Let's rotate that guy. Boom.
Okay, Michael, that's good. Sounds like you said was referencing kind of like micro interactions. I'm trying to answer questions.
Oh yeah. Who's
FYI.
Getting into the details?
Yeah, and well, I mean, for one, just like go into the help menu. There's like provide feedback. This is definitely like a huge place to go. So again, provide feedback, zoop, right there. And not only that, if I launch this, feature requests and bugs. So feel free to file that under XD bugs if I don't get to it, but there's also feature requests. So since we're actively developing this, you can kind of submit your own, but also see what's high up on the menu or on the feature request. So like static or fixed objects, because like for that header, maybe you want that to stay on top even as you scroll for more information. That's something we're actively working on.
Maybe you have something a little branded right there.
Oh, by the way, a tutorial library. Oh, there's so many things.
What's a word for like reading? Analyzing?
Oh, analyzing. Yeah.
How do you spell that?
A-N-A-L-Y.
Z-A-N-G? I think I was close. That's a tricky one.
Yep.
Cool.
Analyzing.
Imagine there'd be a little
because you're like
noise
you're the alien. Scanning the splints. What is this?
Scanning. Oh, that's another nice one.
Oh yeah.
Scanning, analyzing.
We really appreciate everybody being here. Drew, if you're new here, just let us know. Say hello. Let us know where you're from. And it's always fascinating, too, because, like, especially if you were traveling and you get to go down to Colombia and go on a hike, just think about all the things that you'd run into. Like,
oh, yeah.
What is this?
What's interesting to think about, too, is how if, let's say, how does it differ between whether you are waiting for it to confirm that it knows what you're looking at, or if you just take the picture really quickly. It could be that you analyzes it afterwards, too. Maybe
I think you should take the picture and then it
analyzes it.
Yeah.
Love that.
Because I don't want to. I
don't want to have to wait for it.
Yeah, and I could easily have this open like this view. Like it's not till I hit the button do I want.
Yeah, I like that.
To do all that hard work. Oh, next wave from Argentina would be cool. Hasib, Pakistan. Nice. So we're hiking in Pakistan. What do we stumble upon? From Kenya. Good to have you here, Kevin. So we're working in Adobe XD. Feel free to download it.
What should we call the name of this mushroom? I have no idea what it's called.
Oh,
Does anybody know what this mushroom's called? Have an idea of mushroom? I think that's a great
interwebs.
Is it edible? We can have even a check mark for this. Don't eat this thing. Poisonous.
Oh, gosh. Ukraine's in the house. Good to have you here. So yeah, Marlon, Adobe XD, you can get the trial for free. We encourage you to do that and enter the challenge today, because that's, if you go enter the challenge and if you win, you could win Creative Cloud, which will include Adobe XD and everything else. So that's the way to get it for free. Accordion mushroom? Tawanda says
that is an Adobe mushroom. That would be convenient.
Convenient.
Accordion mushroom. It does kind of look like that, doesn't it? You just kind of want to squeeze it and like make a little sound. We can have some fun facts about.
This is an accordion mushroom on Etsy.
Oh, really? Maybe it is.
Hey, we'll go with that.
On Etsy? Why would you have a mushroom on Etsy?
Well, let's see. It's like you buy it on Etsy and it says, yeah, you got to go pick it up in the forest. I was joking.
Oh my God. Get a little check mark there. This is Earthling certified mushroom.
Cat D loves XD. Appreciate that. Rasula? Oyster mushroom. I think we'll talk about this just for 45 minutes. On like we'll just like argue over what type of mushroom.
Guess what mushroom it is. I mean, it's an important question. We're here to learn about nature.
It kind of is. We can't be like, oh, whatever. That's the whole goal of the app.
Is to learn.
And what I love about this is like, what if this is like an undiscovered thing? So if I can help, like, imagine like for you to discover something.
Well, I've even heard of some volunteer programs where they just have you go and record things in nature to like check the population of like mollusks or something.
That's huge.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole other angle to this. Like, if I'm not just doing it to learn, but if I'm helping
contributing
nature, yeah.
Love
Munich's
that.
in the house. India, good to have you. Indra, is XD replacing Muse? It is not. XD is all about designing and prototyping user experiences. Today, your challenge is to build a health app. We're working on a nature one right now. But Muse will allow you to create websites without using any code.
Can you pull me like a 2-line description of the accordion mushroom?
Okay.
We're learning as we design. And one of my professors in design school told me that designers become an expert in whatever it is that they're designing. So I love that we get to learn doing what we do. Helpful to give experts at the moment.
See, this is the thing.
Oh, that's kind of fun. Building ownership to the photo. I like that a lot, actually.
The thing is I only found like
Did
one.
Did you look on Wikipedia?
Okay, I'll do that now.
We're learning here.
We're gonna learn.
Let's see. Okay.
Okay, so. I don't think it's in a I think somebody just like guessed.
Is there a fake mushroom that we can just look up?
Yeah.
I don't think you need this. Edible.
Gills. Those are the gills we're looking at.
Oh, that's cool.
So do you just need edible? So you just need some random facts.
Yep. Look, they're sending us some little mushroom facts.
Yeah, we need random mushroom facts or interesting mushroom facts.
I like that. Interesting random mushroom facts.
Oh, second best line I've heard today. Madison says, all fungi are edible, not all fungi are edible more than once.
Oh, wow.
Which means they could kill you. That's clever.
I think we want to know beforehand.
Yeah, we do.
What kind it is. Mild milk cap mushroom. That's nice.
You can put down like what are those called?
Has gills.
has gills.
We're gonna make this a bit darker.
You could say appears overnight.
Oh, that's fun. Cool.
Raw brown mushrooms are 92% water.
Wow, that's. I wonder if there's
I'll look up mild
even
milk cap. Thank you, Mitch.
There's probably something interesting about. So we'll make this button sticky. Of course, you always want to have the next call to action above the fold, but we're gonna build out this page a little bit to give it a little bit more valuable. You can even tell where the fold is here. I love that actually in XD. That's really nice. Fun facts about this mushroom. So you're learning specifically about this accordion mushroom, but maybe there's just something that we can tell you about mushrooms in general.
Mm-hmm. We can do like, under beech trees or something for making up something. I did a search for milk caps since Mitch told me to.
I'm gonna say redwood trees because this is in.
And then you can do, you could do like usually growing between August and November or something.
Oh, love that. Love that. Grows between August and September. Nice. Those sound like nice about facts. Maybe have some fun facts. And then we have our CTA.
Mushroom spores repel over 20,000 species of insects. That's huge.
Wow, that's a lot.
Wow. John Clear. John Clear knows stuff.
Okay, here we go. Now we want that good old email.
Rasula family of mushrooms. I'm learning so much about mushrooms today. That was not.
Well, we want to learn about nature. The other fun part I love about this is there's so many beautiful colors from nature that can like inspire what we use here. And so far I've only been using black because I love color, but I also love just black. Okay.
I don't know if some people could be like pulling my leg and I'd believe them. The spores of mushrooms are made from chitin, which is the hardest substance on Earth. A
plant hardiness score. It's interesting. Oh, actually, that's kind of interesting to think about how you might add a little bit of gamification here. Like, this has yet to be identified on. You're the first one to identify this mushroom on the app. That could be kind of fun.
And I like the even if it's like really rare, I would want to know like rare. Maybe is a rarity level. Like, something like that.
Oh yeah. Okay,
like
we're
really
adding
rare.
badges. We're adding badges.
We're adding badges. Yay, everybody! You get a badge. You get actually. You might get one.
I wonder where we put it, though. In terms of the information architecture, it's interesting. You want to know about this mushroom, but we also want to reward you for finding it. So there's an interesting balance there. We might put this towards the bottom, and badges go next. So we might have like a little section here.
And you've identified, I mean, this is pretty important because this really is one of the things in nature that could potentially could do major harm to you. So this is
oh yeah. So
chances of death if I eat it. No, just
so you might have a couple different. So we have like your first find. That's exciting. We want to congratulate you for doing something that we like, which is using our app.
I like it.
This is where we could use some nice little icons.
Jackie Ho's in the house. She's going to be up next. Welcome. Good to have you here. She's up in an hour. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about mushrooms and we're building an app around nature. So we're learning a lot over here.
Oh, yeah.
And the challenge today is, ooh, we could do a giveaway. Let's do that. Yeah, and we also have a challenge. We'll talk about that in a second. But in honor of Jackie Ho making it here safely, we're going to go ahead and give away some fantastic socks.
Dun, 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 dun.
Slightly worn, actually tested by Aly on the way here, and a book as well, and a notebook for sketching. Actually, has a grid in it, and we will give that away. You just need to be active in chat. Be like, "What's up? I love mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms." You know, welcome, like Jackie. Actually. I'm not like a huge mushroom fan.
I mean, they're fun to take pictures of, but
yeah,
maybe
I feel like they.
it.
Yeah. I like socks. Your feet are cold. We just need to hear from you in chat. We gotta make sure somebody's on the other end of that keyboard. Because we do say your name, we want to make sure you heard us. So let us know that you're there. I love socks and mushrooms. Sure, what a weird combo.
Wow. So exciting. Socks with mushrooms on them. What do we call the badge section? It's like your fines, badges, achievements.
Yeah, like, yeah.
I think there's got to be something better than that. If anybody has any ideas, I'm open.
So just be active in chat. We will have the Adobe Live team pick a winner. Just say, hey, what's up? I would like some socks, and I like mushrooms.
Bonus points if you can think of a better name than achievements.
Yes.
Your treasures. Oh, that's kind of fun. Well, that treasure will be that'll be like part of the collection.
And to be honest, I kind of like achievements. Achievements is fine. It's almost not necessary. It's like, what if it doesn't even have it probably needs a title, but this is one of those cases where like
it could just be
show
okay
the
without it. Maybe we just show it. I like simplifying. We'll just go without it. We could have some nice little...
Studio brings up a good question. Can we send it to, where was that? Overseas? We'll see. We'll do what we can in terms of the winner, but we need to pick one first. We're getting that narrowed down. Adobe Live team's doing the background research on everybody entering right now. He's doing background checks on everybody that's entering because there's 34 people that work for Adobe Live team. Not really.
Not really.
And you not only win the left one, you also win the right one.
A whole pair.
A whole pair. And you could like maybe you win them both, and maybe you give one sock to a friend. I don't know. It's totally up to you once you win them.
That would be so kind. We could be sock best friends.
You could like have it wear it on the same day.
Aw,
thing.
That's cute. Let's kind of bring in this.
All right. Looks like we're picking our winner for the Adobe XD socks and notebook, which we do every hour. Basically, we're gonna be doing a giveaway as well. So. The GusBot 5000 has picked a name, and we'd like to congratulate Kevin Mann. Congratulations, Kevin Mann. You win both socks and...
Yay!
Yay! Fancy notebook. Yay!
Congrats!
Congrats, Kevin Mann. Just let us know that you're out there and you heard us, Kevin Mann. We're going to contact you through Behance, which is one reason why I want you to log in so we can... you know, send you stuff. So congrats, Kevin Mann. And we will, ooh, look at how many viewers. On the very bottom.
Wow, look at that.
I think that might be correct.
We're so excited you're all here.
Yeah, we really are. We really are. And you guys have been a huge help because you've helped us identify the name of the app so far and do the research around mushrooms.
It's a team effort.
It is a team effort. And not to forget, okay, so you might not have won, you might not have been Kevin Mann, which we're all jealous of. But you could still enter the challenge. So there's that challenge tab. If you take a look just behind chat. And from there.
Oh, yeah, I found my...
Because this is our very first day. This is your best chance to win by the... And you're gonna help me look. We'll preview some of these.
Oh, I'm really excited,
and then we get
actually.
a pick. Like, it's kind of...
I can't wait to see what you guys
get to do the honors. With. Yeah, and like early on in the days, you're like your best chance. But basically, it's right here. Challenge is to create a health mobile app. Could be anything. Could be tracking calories. Could be like meditation, tracking steps. anything you want. Just make sure it's 3 screens using Adobe XD, which you can get that link right here. We just had an update today. And then submit through this form, and we will review those. I'll check the entries now as well, just to see.
This is nice. I like some of these icons. I'm looking for, boom, a back arrow.
For the number of people watching, by the way, oh, okay, let's do that.
Cool.
I'll show this example. Hold on one second. From Robert Bradford, really fast. Robert Bradford. This actually one is not available to win because it's something that they created in the past. We just need you to create 3 screens, but if you need some inspiration, this is called Gains. We can click through just like you're doing, right? So we can kind of log in. Let's use Facebook login or click there. Here we have our workouts and then begin our workout, a little demo. And then notice how I'm clicking. I don't know where to click, but if I just click, it'll highlight.
Tell me where. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, in progress.
Oh, that's
fun. I like the colors. Orange is such like a action color. It just makes you kind of want to get up and start moving.
Yeah, and those are complementary colors as well.
Love that.
It's the orange and blue, like Denver Broncos.
I know that typeface. Is that Fira Sands? I like that. Nice.
I don't know. Robert Bradford, if you're here, I'd love to. But again, just an idea for what you could build. Tracking food, tracking exercises. You get the idea.
Boom. Okay, so we've added something to your collection. Wow, look at that. First thing that you found. We've captured some info from you. Now we're gonna prompt you to explore a little bit more. I think that's where it's gonna get exciting. Start getting some feed, some social sharing in here. We could explore what, so we want to get you to share this.
Yeah. Can you put somewhere in there, there's a fungus among us as a phrase?
It'd be fun if every time you come back, you get a nice little, like, funny nature quote.
Yeah, can we just do fun nature puns? Like,
I love
sparingly, but it would be really cute.
Where can we put it? That is a
that
fun
would be
idea.
this.
That would be this.
There's a fungus
right?
among us. It's so cheap. I don't know.
I like that.
Is that dumb? Francisco, what do you think?
Among us. I would giggle.
I would giggle too. Thank you, Jeff.
Needs a little work. Yum.
Oh, by the way, we are checking. Get this, like your chances are 100% if you enter in the challenge. We're gonna give you only like 20 more minutes.
Oh man!
So we'll do about like around 10:35 is what I'm thinking. I'll have to check with the Gus bot, but it just depends on the. Basically, 10:30 should be our cutoff. Enter your stuff in at that time.
Cool. So we want to get you to share. So we might even make this. You can have a nice little bit of onboarding here too.
Mushrooms are full of B vitamins. Just random
Really?
fact. Yeah.
You can add that in this little thing. This mushroom is edible. Yum. And also contains B vitamins.
Yeah. Cool. B1, B2, B3, B5, B6. And some minerals.
Love that. Cool.
I don't know if that chat is refreshing. There we go. I don't think it's
I definitely add character and brand. Slack does a great job of this. That is a great point. I feel like, particularly because this is a very lighthearted topic, I feel like there's lots of room to have a little bit more fun. I mean, I work in finance all the time where trust is very important. So, you know, you got to be serious with like how you're dealing with people's money, but this is nature. So I think it's nice to be able to play with that a little bit.
Yeah, especially and again, somebody mentions Slack. It's every time when you launch Slack, it gives you a fun little phrase just while it's loading.
I love that.
So maybe that's during the analyzing screen or whatever. We'll have to think of that.
Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, so we want to have some sort of share thing here or a prompt maybe even to capture something else. And maybe instead of like a CTA, we have kind of, I think what's nice when you're onboarding people is to kind of, and to define onboarding, teaching somebody how to use an app. So you're kind of ramping up to how we as the developer of this app want you to be using the different features. So what's nice is when you can actually use the UI or where you'll actually be finding things to tell them how to use it. So instead of making a button that says, add something new, we can just kind of add it in the context of where you might add something eventually. So we can kind of show that we want another picture to go here. And so we'll put a button there that lets you add something new, and that's where it's going to live when you're all done. So you're kind of learning where things belong.
I love it.
We'll bring in our little photo icon.
That we got from the wire.
Yeah, the wireframe kit is super handy.
That's cool. This is kind of popular now. Have you done the Google art and culture?
Oh yeah, love that. All of mine were like really sad Renaissance ladies when I did my face.
No way! Really?
Like, yeah, it's like definitely a look here, I guess.
That's interesting. That's kind of what this is doing. Is it's going to try to identify. It could give you something entirely different. Like, what if you did do a selfie and then it served up you look like a mushroom?
Can you imagine being told you looked like a mushroom? What if you, it said you looked like a slug? Wouldn't that be sad?
That would be sad. I'm like, now I feel like a slug, thanks. You've done this already?
Yeah.
Like how I'm making you do it again.
We'll see what it comes up
Google
with.
Art and Culture app basically will... oh, I like this. But again, this is really hot right now. I like this one.
Oh,
so the first one was here.
Oh,
let me go ahead.
That one's more fun.
Shh. Not to get sidetracked. I was just going to set it right where the iPad is. Is that cool? So you may have seen Aly Weir, and she's lived many lives, and here she is right now. And essentially, we're doing this same functionality.
But
I think
for mushrooms.
But for mushrooms. Oh, that's cool. I think it's
that was like literally an infant.
They got you a portrait of Joseph. Is
there a guy in there? That does not look like a guy.
Yeah, so that's
very
fun.
Pretty guy.
Yeah. Anyways.
Fun times.
This is, yeah. Sorry to get sidetracked.
It's exciting sidetrack.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've shared it with your friends. We're now getting into the feed part of this. I think it might be a little bit more fun if instead of just dumping you right on the feed, we dump you in like the map view, because like we're in nature, you're going places. I think there's definitely something about exploring when you think about, oh look, here's a little map thing right there. We kind of want a little more naturey map, but that one could work.
Yeah.
We can just make it a naturey color, and that'll work, I think. I love it when things just design themselves.
I can always grab a little bit like better map.
Yeah, if you want to look for a kind of naturey map, that would be great. Oh, cool.
Okay, looking. Ooh, that's pretty color.
Love masks.
Okay, we'll do this. We'll do this one. That's. I mean, I was thinking you just need something like this, right? Or that.
Yeah, well, kind of like
what?
think about like when you look up your
How do I do?
when you're looking for even a map on like Google Maps. I think we just need something that looks like it's a nature park, because this kind of makes me feel like I'm in a city. Which maybe you found it in a city park. That would be okay.
All right. So, KO mentioned something about conditional logic, and basically it looks like you're talking about features within XD, which is awesome. There is a way to submit features through Adobe XD, which is what we're using today, by the way. It's only 1.0 with updates regularly. So essentially help mold it into the app that you want it to be. What about this?
Oh yeah, that's kind of
Okay,
fun. That feels
cool.
nice.
Yeah, and we need something.
Or you can trade for
Simple.
nature-inspired products. Oh, that's kind of fun. I feel like we want to keep it from about being exploring nature and less about buying things.
I like where your head's at.
Cool. So let's see. You've just shared yours, and what'll be cool is we can just show. Oh, looks like. Oh, this would actually be a great point in time. So we've gotten you to share something I'll make that a little bit darker, and we kind of show you where it lives on the map. But the first thing that we can do is show the closest find next to you. So we're kind of teaching you that like you can see what other people have been finding around you. So it's a little bit of another onboarding moment.
Change that to an O. The accordion.
Accordion.
Everybody was freaking out, like, oh, that's wrong, I can't do it.
Ah, it looked
OCD.
close.
It did. Well, that would just be, that's typical designer, because
Yeah,
like
right?
a word,
Oh, that's a
word's just a shape.
fun little link, a printer to get your shots printed. That's actually really fun. I feel like I always have like a little bit of anxiety of the amount of photos on my phone. It's like if my phone gets destroyed, they're just all gone. Printing is a great way to keep those.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. And we'll show.
Thank you so much. Sorry about that.
Feature this little newt guy over here.
Thank you, Carolina.
So this is a way where you can kind of understand that you can discover content too. So we'll say you found this right here. Oh, do we have the file in our little
Should be there.
UC library thing?
Looks like it's syncing now.
Nice.
So basically what we're doing here is we're using CC libraries. We have a shared library. I just found an image. Yeah, that's a weird.
Whoa.
So basically that's what I did is I found this image, or I can make whatever I want, but I went to collaborate and just entered in your email address. And now we're sharing photos so I can help out. I can do my part.
Yay.
I contributed.
In the Tinderi Nature Reserve.
Oh,
I like that.
And the thing is, I'm not sure where I pulled this map from.
Where is it from?
Oh, New South Wales, Australia.
Oh, that's fun.
Well, that's awesome.
Looking for stuff in Australia.
Let me know if you are from Australia. Maybe you do know the Tinderies. Oh, Catherine, I like the idea of a gallery wall. I like just the thought of that.
Oh, I think that's a gallery wall with your favorite
Ooh.
shots. That's fun. Select it as a favorite. That's fun. Swipe right on that nature preserve. Get it? Because
What?
Tinderi. That's pretty funny. Oh, wow, look at that. Categories. That's kind of cool. Kingdom, phylum, class. So like
Look
using
at
like the
you,
trees.
Terry.
Wow.
Slow clap just for knowing things.
Wow.
That gets yeah, that's good.
Check out what someone found really close to you. Also in Tinderi Nature Reserve. So you kind of get a little sneak peek of other things around you. That's fun. There's also we want like a list view so you can see a feed. I wonder, I'm kind of going back and forth on what is the better place to start you on. Is it better to start you on a feed or a map? Because I could see that the feed is a lot easier to kind of just like scroll through and see stuff. But with the map, you kind of get a sense of like where you are.
Like where you'd start us, like after we take the photo?
Yeah,
or?
so like if we wanted you to share it, like what is the next thing that you see? Because I feel like it should be some sense that like you're in a community now. There's like...
Oh, I really do like it being on the map.
Okay,
I really like
keep
that
it on the map.
Pins it to the map.
So it's like you're on the grid now. Activate the spore drive. The scientific name on the info page. Yeah, I definitely... Oh, the scientific name. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, well, we don't even know if we have the right mushroom.
We don't,
to be honest
but
with you.
I'm going to take this witty part and we're going to put that here. And then we're going to bring some science into this page.
Crimini, morals.
Look up a fake scientific name. Scientific name.
Oh, I
here.
can probably give you that. Hold on.
I like that. I think that's a great call. As much science as we can use. Yeah, community.
Okay, here we go.
Fun.
You could just use this.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that looks really scientific.
Agaricus
bisporus. Oh, that sounds like a mushroom.
Yeah, it does. And yes, I feel like I'm on an alien planet when I read that.
I wonder. Yeah, okay, that's fun. I feel like we need some little icons for these guys. Maybe we could. Find
Oh yeah,
something
definitely. So for the badges.
Yeah, for the
Okay,
badges.
you got it.
Icons.
You got it. So you still have, I don't know, 5 minutes. Does that sound good, Gus, for just the contest? I know we're having
You're on the map is what I want.
some issues with chat. We're just happy to have everyone in here, by the way. Super cool.
What other nature lovers found near you? Nice. So you can start to explore, or you could potentially click in to the feed view. It kind of looks like a hamburger menu. How do we signify?
You could
the
put
fact that it's a
Earthlings. What
feed?
other Earthlings?
Oh yes, that's great. Love that.
And thank you, Kelsey Niehaus, for submitting your entry for the challenge. Just check out the challenge tab. It's all about fitness.
Mushroom. Earthlings on the map. That was a good call.
So, Wani, you can't color correct images in XD. You could do like overlays, some different things like that, but you know, you're not pushing pixels necessarily.
Let's grab a
So,
little persona icon. That's what I want. Actually, I think I have it earlier over here. That's already the color that I want. Because that, I'm not sure if that's necessarily the right icon for your collection.
maybe
it needs
I really
to be
need to get on this. So we just basically, do you want me to like?
So we need an icon for first find. So like a
Okay.
ta-da, yay. Maybe something about rare type. I like kind of throwback to Pokemon. I found a rare type. It's water type.
Okay.
Are ruled to be italic. Italic it is. That didn't work.
I like it.
There we go.
So again, we're here with Aly Weir. Thank you everybody for joining us. We have you for just a time check about another 20 minutes.
Great.
So then we have Jackie Ho is going to be up next. Here's a quick schedule. Aly will be with us tomorrow again from 9 to 11 PST, which is awesome. Good having you here. Tuesday through Thursday. Jackie Ho is up next, 11 to 1 p.m. She's hanging out right back over there. Natalie Lou with myself, 1 to 3, 3 to 5. We have the Michaels, Crabtree, and Shays from 3 to 5 p.m. So full day of user experience design. And we're tackling a nature app. You can tackle a fitness or health app if you want to try out the contest. Because right now we have 2 entries.
Oh man, get them submitted. I want to see what you guys are thinking of.
Get them in now. We're closing this down in, 4 minutes.
Okay, so we got let's maybe work on a little bit of this feed view. Instagram, we want that big, we want that found by, boom.
Yeah, not the football star. Not that Michael Crabtree. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it is. That's a bad thing to do.
What?
Pretend like it's like the football player.
Oh, geez.
Like not correct if somebody thinks it's the football player. It's not the football player. Unless he knows experience design and he's like gotten into that biz. That's awesome.
Let's see. We want this guy to be masked here. Well,
Michelle, welcome from Italy. Good to have you here.
Cool. So at this point, you just made this.
While you're working on that, if you could switch to my screen. Again, just providing resources. Essentially, we do have in Adobe XD, you can get UI kits, and you've been pulling from wireframes, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, since you need badges, I'm thinking, okay, well, in Adobe Illustrator, if you go File New, we provide all these like free templates. And there's this one, like Elegant Logo Kit. I might be able to like create some things.
Oh, that's really fun.
And just like add some nature-y type things to it.
Yeah.
And so essentially that's what I'm going to try to do.
Great, that sounds perfect.
Cool.
And I'm going to finish making this feed. Because at this point we haven't even really got the person to build out their profile a little bit more. Because we kind of want to know a little bit more about them.
Yes.
Location icon. Oh wow, handy dandy right there.
Boom. I like how you work. You use the
swiping.
Swiping.
Live and die by swiping.
And you're just mad skilled with the keyboard, by the way. Super impressed.
Makes it go a lot faster.
Terry says you need to make this a real product and sell it to the National Geographic.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun. That would be fun. Michael? Oh, okay, gotcha.
Cool.
So this is good.
Love this. Because what is even fun, or what I would think would be awesome with these different feeds, is that so you've added something. Can we get even a conversation going around stuff that you're finding? So I don't always like to just allow things like comments for things for the sake of comments, but I feel like we're trying to foster like a conversation as like kind of a move into people. So I feel like it'd be nice to let the users encourage one another and kind of have conversations around stuff that they're finding. So I feel like in this instance, some type of comments might make sense. Or even like what's interesting is if you have questions about things, like can you post stuff to the feed that has like questions where you're asking the community? Like is there even like a forum aspect to this feed where you can kind of weigh in on a part of a conversation?
Yeah, I would definitely like that aspect, just the comment aspect. People, again, that's why you're posting it to social media, to kind of get like, to let other people know about it and be like, hey, this is really rare that you found this. I ran into this, and I live halfway around the world or something. So this will be good. Mitch made a joke. Earthling feed, isn't that just food? We got some jokers in the house.
We can come up with a new name for that. Earthling feed.
It could
it's
just say
mushrooms.
It could just say feed, yeah.
It's like, how do you know where
I don't
you
know.
are? It's like, does it even need to save feed? Because here
It
you're
doesn't.
kind of toggling between the views.
No, it's like, yeah, I don't think so.
I think it's as fine as is.
And Aly, you're just using Mac. She's using MacBook Pro, probably what, 2015?
Yep.
Yep. Just really fast with it.
Got a little like map icon here. Let you toggle between the views. Isn't that nice? There you go.
Mm-hmm. You're working away. I'm not doing anything. I'm just like sitting here, just like impressed with your speed and agility. Do you want these badges to have color? Like,
I feel like we could have them
like just a little pop of color?
live in like these white circles. So maybe like they're even just like kind of icon type things with maybe some nature. I like kind of that nature color palette down there. That's kind of fun.
Okay, gotcha. And I'm basically just, we'll switch to my screen. Yeah, I'm basically on Adobe stock right here, just did a search for badges. And these might work for our, hey, vintage still works.
That's kind of fun.
And yeah, so I can license and save this to our Aly and Paul folder. And I'll clean it up, I'll separate it out, add the text we need to. So
Love that. Let's see. This is where we could, if we want to encourage conversation, have the, I think taking a nod from Instagram, pretty sure they do this where they have the comment field just kind of like ready for you just to tap in and start chatting away.
Wani Garcia Foreign is impressed with your icon creation skills.
Oh, thank you. Icons are tools to help aid in understanding. They're your friend. And I don't necessarily know if we want, like one of the things in terms of feeds, instead of just having like a heart icon to like things, I feel like it almost becomes too much of a game of like, am I getting enough likes on my photo? There's kind of like that anxiety you get a little bit with Instagram. So I don't necessarily know if that's the kind of like behavior we want to facilitate with this app. I think it's more about, less about a popularity contest and more about just sharing.
Yeah. Yes, that's pretty perceptive of you. Like, you're not doing it for likes, essentially.
Mm-hmm, exactly. We might make this.
Okay, so rulers are not yet available in Adobe XD. Just keep in mind you have guides and grids. So guides are actually, again, we can have a number of columns with different widths on the side and top, so you can check that out. And so play with that for now. You might determine that you don't necessarily need rulers, because what people do with rulers is they make columns, and we give you columns, by the way.
Oh, nice.
You have the ability to
Love
add
that.
columns. So
Very handy.
Dion, thank you so much for working so hard on the challenge. Really appreciate you, and really we just want people to kind of download and just try it out. Just have some fun. Just have fun creating. I think it's fun watching you, quite frankly, watching you create, because you're pretty fast. I like it.
We need another name for our user. We have Forest Lover 2000.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Because the first 1,999 are taken. I hear ya.
I don't know what we'd call this Newt guy. Call him the Maroon Newt. I don't know what else. What a more scientific name would be for a newt. Just make it up.
All right, cool. So basically the contest is closed. We kept it open a little longer just for this first segment, by the way. So Jackie's going to be reviewing entries that I do not get to, so that will be cool between Jackie and Michael. Terry, are you Jungle Lover 2000? Aly, where did you study?
At the University of Washington. I actually have a Bachelor of Design, which I was really excited about.
Oh, just design?
Design,
Just
yep.
design,
Just
graphic design?
Visual Communications
Visual
was
Communications.
the program that I was in.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. Learned a lot about typography, a lot about color.
Love it. I mean, it's like all the fundamentals.
Yeah.
That stuff is not going to go out of date.
I love it. mask, won't you? Oh, I think we're already in a mask. That's why. You got a nice little profile picture there. Cool. Okay. So we've gotten the user to give us a little bit of information about them. They have started their collection. We prompted them to share, where we kind of got them on the map and started teaching them a little bit where they can see other people. I guess one other action that we would really like them to take is to tell us a little bit more about them by filling out their profile, because you could have some community aspect where maybe you're an expert in the field, and so your opinion might have a little bit more weight. You know, like Instagram kind of has like the blue certified, where you're kind of like, oh, this is legit. So if you're like kind of having a conversation about nature, you could be just two people who really like rocks, or you could be somebody who is a professional. So that profile might be interesting. So if you click on that profile tab, maybe we can build that section out a little bit.
Need an uppercase button. Hey, I love it. We're gonna add that as a feature. Thank you, Stephen Begley and Jack Pierce. Got your entry in as well for the challenge. We also have Abdel Bassett and Kelsey's in.
Nice. Excited to see what you guys have come up with.
Yeah. So this is good. Again, if you check out the challenge tab, it's all about creating a health app. We'll review these here in as soon as you're ready. It's about 10:45 now.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can just about call it up, because you can just have a little bit of section or about me, where you can fill in the blanks. Maybe you add any like credentials that you have, and this is just a place where people could fill in a little bit more about themselves. So as you're getting to know people in your community, as you're talking about things, we leave space for you to like kind of give yourself a little bit of credibility, or maybe it's even a place where you meet friends, people who are similar to you. So yeah,
I like it.
If we're ready to go into the
fitness
let's app, we can do it.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's switch gears. We're checking out Kelsey Niehaus, their entry. So again, check out the challenge tab. It's all about health. So all they need to do is link 3 screens together. You meet the minimum like requirements for this contest, and you win Creative Cloud based on the one Aly likes best, and as well as the person that gives them like compliments. That's what I go for. People tell me my hair looks good. It's just like, oh, I think you might win. I like this. So they did this slide out menu, which is cool. And check this out. You could do this blur, background blur effect. Very sharp, Kelsey. Great job.
I feel like this is a good question from Zizu. How do you know that the color you choose is the right one? I think when it comes to a lot of visual decisions, they can feel really subjective. Because a lot of it is so emotional. You're like, oh, I like that color. I don't like that color. How do I know? I think one of the ways that I approach brand in general is trying to go back to the principles of whatever brand it is you're trying to develop. So for nature, it's for people who like to get outside. So it might make sense to reflect colors that have more nature tones. They're going to be more muted. You have like some dark Tuscany reds, some kind of evergreeny greens, or maybe you go for a totally black and white approach and it's a little bit more neutral on the color side and you let the photography shine. So there's different approaches you could even take for a specific direction, but colors also have a lot of inherent meaning to them themselves. Like in this example here, you have blue, which is a very calming color. We were looking at a fitness app earlier, which was orange, which has a lot more energizing feel. So you can go back to some basic like color theory principles to kind of guide you in the right direction. And then you could think about how different colors, even for the same problem, will kind of change the attitude of the app.
Yeah. No, that's good. And, you know, and it's maybe you don't make those decisions right away.
Oh, totally.
You probably need to, like,
explore lots of different ones. Yeah. I think, you know, we just kind of took a first pass through this Earthling experience. There's probably 2 to 3 other different type of visual directions that you could actually still work really well, but would definitely change the feel of the app and may even affect who it's for or who is liking the app. Something a little more serious might respond well to a different audience.
And, you know, we really didn't get into, by the way, we didn't get into the prototyping aspect. So basically we're in design. We can click prototype. And this is, let me just check his name. It's, I don't know how to say this, Abdel Bassett. Oh, Abdel Bassett.
Nice.
Hasuna just sent me this XD file. Quite frankly, it's easier if you publish out and send us a link. But this gives us an opportunity to kind of show you how to link things together. So clicking prototype, I can select this logo, for instance, and I can point it to any screen that I want. As I point it to this second screen, get this little pop-up, and we can just have it dissolve or even slide left.
Love that.
And what I do, so I'm coming in here, I'm just doing a select all, or I can actually just select all of these and I start to see the wiring of everything that's wired up. And watch, when I launch this, it's actually going to start with this screen here, this mobile Android, because that's why he has that home set. So it's just like I go through this real fast. Click.
Cool. Wow.
Zoop. Oh, start. 64 beats per minute.
Wow.
Recipes, that's good. I'm kind of clicking around, and that's about, let me kind of go back. That was interesting where it started from. Let's make sure I'm clicking play from there. There we go. Here we are. I'm using my arrow keys, which you could do that as well. So it kind of takes you through like what this is all about.
Yeah.
You log in, enter in your name, and then you can start, and it's getting your heart rate.
Love that.
Congrats on just the number of screens.
Yeah, they
Look
covered
at
a
this.
lot in a really short amount of time.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's so excellent. Stephen Begley, check this out.
Pretty. Love big typography. Yes.
Yeah, the colors, the
that's
smooth,
great.
And we have 4 minutes to go through these. Smooth gradients, random challenge of walking, meditating.
Oh, that's great.
We can go through the vegetables, or looks like, yeah, there we go, vegetables.
Oh, that's great.
And notifications. Ooh, I wish. I was
that's
closing it
really
on my link.
nice.
But the notifications, this is really squared away.
This is great.
So great job, Stephen Begley. Next
Love
up,
that.
Jack Pierce. Love this design too, by the way. 3 screens. Let's sign in. Still the big type.
Nice.
Let's go into run. Used wires.
Fun.
Tracks their
Yeah.
run. Awesome. Socialize. Awesome.
That's
Next
great.
up, this is Dion Vander Wright. And we'll take a look at Dion's. Let's take a look at our schedule for fitness today. And then you just mark it off.
Nice.
And then we have tips, drink. Make sure you're drinking water, folks.
Hydrate.
I say drink water, call your mom. Those are the two. You do those 2 things in a week, whatever. Yeah.
When I feel
Set.
like large type is nice, not just because big bold is fun, but it's also so much more legible. I think that the way that we use type sizes in design is even changing as we go towards more like screen type designs. It's just so much different than print or even desktop because it's so much easier to read when things are bigger on your phone.
Yeah, exactly. Especially,
there's
you know,
reasons.
these are health apps, so you're probably active doing
Checking it
something.
on the go, you like want to go.
So what do you
That's fun.
think? Well, let's get these kind of narrowed down. I really like this one.
Yeah, this is what I like.
This
about
one
this
needs some
is-
more work. We're down about 2 minutes.
I like one of my favorite things about this is the random challenge. I think oftentimes when you're trying to be healthy, it's just like, well, what can I be doing? And something that just one is not only encouraging you to try new things, but is also giving you something that's actually improving your health seems like a really fun, light way to keep people active through the day. Because I think that's kind of the challenge. We're all busy people. We don't have a lot of time. So especially if you can make them like just do 10 jumping jacks that just get you up and moving, I think that's great.
That's awesome. So yeah, and then let's not forget we have this one here as well, which is all
nice.
about fitness. And we looked at this one earlier, had these 3 screens. I really like this blur here.
Yeah.
And lastly, we have this one as well, submitted multiple screens, checks your heart rate. So which do you think should be our winner today?
I think that one's got to be my favorite.
I agree. This
Yeah.
one's also
Nice.
my favorite.
There's a lot of really interesting things in all the other ones. I liked a lot of the different directions. So it's hard to pick.
Yes, congratulations for everybody submitting, especially congratulations to Stephen Begley. This is your design. Congratulations, you win
Yay.
Creative Cloud for a year. and all those fun apps and everything. So it looks like everybody agrees. And we're really thankful for you, Aly. You've been like fantastic to us and just like are wonderful to have for our very first time. It's awesome. But join us. Jackie Ho is up next. I see you over there. She's getting ready to go. She's doing her yoga stretches. She's doing some downward dog, some upward dog. It's all about health today. We didn't review your apps. We will in a second. And Michael Shays is up as well. So did you have fun?
Thank you
your
guys.
First time?
This
Good?
was great.
Awesome.
I loved your guys' contributions. You really pushed it in a great direction. So
You're
this
fantastic.
is awesome.
I can't wait to see this grow and develop tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
Yay.
PST. Stay with us right now, though. Be right back.